Scorpio. This is your April 2016 horoscope. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. And remember, this is for anybody that has their sun, their moon, or their rising sign in the sign of Scorpio. Before I get into what is going on for us Scorpions in the month of April, I'll just quickly tell you guys I do offer readings. I offer live readings on livevisions.com. The link is in the description box, and I do offer recorded readings as well. You can find those on Live Visions as well, and you can also email me at my personal email for a personalized reading, including a personalized monthly horoscope, because this is a general reading. So not every single Scorpio is going to go through the same thing, because we all have different sun, moon, and rising signs, all right? And for the month of April only, we are doing a special on livevisions.com where the first 10 minutes of your reading are free. This is for a live reading. So if you order a 15-minute live reading with myself or anyone else on the site, it's like you get a 25-minute reading for the price of 15. So it's pretty awesome. Take advantage of it, and everything's in the description box for you. Now let's get into what's going on for us in the month of April. Scorpios. All right. So first of all, the sun is going to be in Aries. This is in our 6th house of work, of daily routine, of health. Shining a flashlight on all of those things for us. So if there are any areas of your health that you have not been taking care of properly, the sun is going to highlight that, okay? You may actually have the drive and the energy to work out more and to start being a little more physically active, because that's the energy of Aries anyway. And the sun is your vitality. So your vitality is going to be like, oh my gosh, like we haven't been moving around enough, Scorpio. We need to get up. We need to take the stairs instead of the elevator at work. We need to like start walking a lot more, running a lot more. Also, what foods have we been eating? Have we been ingesting things that are like terrible for us and making us look terrible? Oh my goodness, we need to change that. So the sun can definitely put a spotlight on those things. Also, the 6th house is a house of work duties. More work duties could be added on to us. I know I personally have had that happen in both of my jobs. So it's actually been pretty awesome, because you know what? We have Saturn in the 2nd house calling us to work harder to earn more income right now. And the 6th house going on is like giving us more work so we can earn more money. So you know what? It's pretty awesome. Can't complain. But if you don't like doing a lot of work, Scorpio, this month, I'm just letting you know, the sun being in the 6th house can definitely call you to be more hardworking and have more work that you need to accomplish. On the 9th of the month, the sun comes in conjunction with Uranus. This could be a sudden job that you accept, a sudden job that you get a call for. This could be a sudden ending to a job. Hopefully that's not the case for me as a Scorpio rising, but something all of a sudden can change and happen with a job. Maybe your company switches you departments, so your work environment and the work duties that you do are all of a sudden changed. Those are some things that can happen with the sun in conjunction with Uranus. On the 20th of the month, the sun goes into Taurus, and this is our 7th house. Scorpio, with the sun in the 7th house. If you're looking for love, this is a great time to be seen out in the dating world, to start playing the field. Scorpios, we're not very aggressive like with going after people. If we're interested, we kind of do some sly moves, you know, to get people drawn into us and attracted to us. So I know you're not going to be out there like, ooh, I'm going to play the field. Ooh, what's your name? What's your number? Hey, sweet thing. You know, usually we're not like that. Some Scorpios might be that bold, but you could be seen and you'll be exuding this energy that's expressing openness to love and to relationships, whether or not you're trying or not, you know, so just be mindful of that. It's also a great time to negotiate new business partnerships with someone as well. If you're already in an established relationship, the sun is a flashlight, a big bright flashlight. He's going to show you the good and the bad that's going on with your relationship. So if you have a boo thing, it's a good time to talk to your honey boo boo child about your relationship. Is it going good? Is it going bad? What are some things that we can work on? What are some memories that we have that are great that we can talk about? You know, those are all the things that the sun can be highlighting in the 7th if you are coupled. So Venus continues to be in the sign of Pisces in our 5th house for the first 5 days of the month of April. The 5th house is a romantic house. It's the house of calling your significant other those little sweet little pet names that Scorpios were not really normally that type of pet name person, but we might be doing that while Venus is in the 5th. Venus has been in Pisces since the month of March, so this is just continuing on that energy and finishing it up for the first few days. So feeling very romantic, very creative. If you're in a creative field, Venus in herself is very creative. The 5th house is creative, so super creative time to express yourself and express yourself romantically, and also to spend some really good time with your children if you have children. Or if you're trying to have children, Venus in the 5th is an auspicious time to try to create, you know, another being, because it's a creative house. But that's only the first 5 days, because then Venus moves into Aries on the 5th. This is our 6th house. So work environment. We can be seen in a more positive light in the work environment. Even though the sun is there and your boss may be like, you know what, Scorpio, I think you can handle a little bit more work. I'm going to give you some more work. That's exactly what happened to me. Oh my gosh, as soon as the sun went into Aries, I'm telling you, my boss piled it on. He said exactly that. I think you can handle a little bit more work, Scorpio. So that could be happening, but with Venus there, you can be just seen more positively, you know, like, yeah, you work hard, you know, and it may be a good time to maybe ask your boss for a raise or something, some sort of appreciation for all the hard work that you're doing while the sun is in the 6th. Venus in the 6th house is also a good time to get a new beauty regimen started, to pay more attention to your health, you know, in a positive way. What can you be doing to enhance your health? And what is affecting your health that may be affecting your appearance? Because that's what Venus rules too, is your appearance. So getting in shape, getting healthy, start eating better, you know, and it'll really reflect on the outside and be preparing you for when Venus goes into your 7th house of relationships, which is on the last day of the month, on the 30th. So if you look good, you feel good, hey, you're going to be attracting them left and right like bees to honey. Oh my gosh, Scorpio. So be prepared for that if that's what you're open to. Now, Venus will come into conjunction with Uranus in your 6th house in Aries on the 23rd. Okay, so what this means is Uranus is that unexpected energy, okay? It's like very surprising, very outside the box. So, you know, you might have unexpected love that you find in the workplace. Ooh, or maybe if you've been going to the gym while Venus is in the 6th house to make your appearance and your body feel good and look good, you can suddenly meet love at the gym. So I would be watching that muscle man or that lady who's looking fly and, you know, she's got all her makeup on at the gym. She might be looking at you, Scorpio, like, hey, what's up? So there's a great chance of something suddenly happening for you in regards to love when Venus comes in contact with Uranus. So Mars is continuing to be traveling through the sign of Sagittarius through the month of April, and this is our 2nd house of earned income. So we are working hard for that money, Scorpio. I know all about this, honey, okay, because we have Saturn and Mars both in the 2nd house calling us to work very hard. Put our work ethic into extreme action, extreme hard work, and discipline, okay? Follow that tried and true path. We've got the 6th house energy going on, okay? We've got the 6th house energy going on. So our bosses are like, I think you can handle this hard work. Mars and Saturn are going to help us to handle it. Now, Mars and Saturn are both moving retrograde this month. Saturn started moving retrograde on the 25th of March, and Mars is going to start moving retrograde backwards on the 17th of April. So let me tell you what my experiences has been as a Scorpio rising with Saturn moving retrograde in the 2nd house. I've been taking a look at how we spend money. How are we using our resources? Taking a look at our budget. In fact, the day the Saturn went retrograde, that's exactly what I looked at. I calculated all the bills, all the finances, and all of our income, and matched it up and see where there's gaps and see, is there something extra? Okay, and if there's extra, where is it going? How is it being spent? Where is it going towards? Are we using that wisely? Can we have some room to start saving some more money? Or maybe paying off some things a little more, you know, get out of debt. That is the Saturn retrograde in the 2nd house. You could be looking around your house saying, you know what? We're using too much electricity. You're using too much water. You're using too much soap. You're using too much of whatever around the house. You know, we're wasting food. We're not doing the right thing to conserve around this place. So Saturn retrograde is going to call you to go back over those things. All right. Mars retrograde. Mars is aggressive, so you can be kind of aggressive about those things, about your income and your resources. And if you're like me, you may have been driving your family and your household nuts being very stern about this stuff. But you know what? We're going to really be going back over things. And it's a great time to talk it out with your family. Talk it out with your partner, you know. Hey, can we cut back on this, that, or the other? Spending money on this or that, or, you know, using too much electricity or what have you. It's a good time to resolve those issues and talk about them. But try not to be too aggressive to where you're like pissing people off and they're like, I'm not gonna follow my sergeant's directions. You know, don't act like that drill sergeant with me, you know, Scorpio. So just be very careful with that energy, but use it definitely to help balance out things when it comes to your money and your resources. For the first 5 days of the month, Mercury continues to be in the sign of Aries, and this is in our 6th house. So Mercury, he's a manager, he's a busybody, he's a multitasker. So he has definitely been making us work very hard in the workplace, you know. This is another energy that could have been giving us more duties to manage. And so the first 5 days of April, that energy is carried on. When we start the month of April, right on the 1st, Mercury is still going to be in conjunction with Uranus. So this could be an energy that's like your mind is coming up with these fresh and new and innovative ideas when it comes to how to do your work duties. But also, since Mercury is communication and Uranus is kind of like an oddball, weird energy, try to avoid sudden outbursts about things that are weird or off the wall in the workplace. Okay, don't get yourself in trouble at work, Scorpio. But using your mind to come up with great new ideas and rearranging things in your work duties, it's a great time to do that the first few days of April. On the 5th of the month, Mercury moves into Taurus. This is our 7th house. So talking about relationships, negotiating business partnerships, talking more and being more social, going to social gatherings can be possible as well. Just talking to people more in general, because it doesn't have to be like, ooh, lovey-dovey relationships. It's one-on-one conversations and relationships with people. So that can mean anything. So Mercury there is an excellent time to be a little more diplomatic and more open to talking to people. Scorpios, we're assigned this a little more to ourselves and introverted. We don't always trust people that we don't know. But Mercury in the 7th will help us out if we are in some sort of career or some sort of situation where we have to be social. Mercury in the 7th will definitely help us out there. Since Mercury represents friendships and the 7th house is relationships, you know, you might be having some more good times with friends, or a friendship can turn into a little more than just friends. Woo woo. So if you're open to that, keep that in mind as well, Scorpio. That could be happening for you this month. So another planet that's going to go retrograde this month is Pluto. Pluto is at 17 degrees Sagittarius when he goes retrograde on the 18th of April. And this is in our 3rd house of communication and the rational, logical mind. Now, personally speaking, experience with Pluto in the 3rd. Pluto in the 3rd is helping us to really stay true to ourselves in the way that we think and the way that we speak. It is helping us to speak our minds more aggressively and really stick to what we believe in. If people try to sway us, no, that Pluto energy is helping us to pick up on any type of manipulation from other people and say, nope, I'm not falling for it. I'm not having that, you know. So Pluto going retrograde is like our mind is kind of moving backwards a little bit, you know, going back with very deep thoughts, okay? Because Pluto is a deep energy, and Pluto is going to bring things up from underneath the surface. It might bring up some old painful things from the past and some wounds, all right? Just warning about that, Scorpio, because the 3rd house is the mind, okay? So if those things come up, you know, especially because Mercury is going to be retrograde too, ooh, Scorpios, we're going to be having a heck of a time, you know, with Mercury retrograde, Pluto retrograde in our house of communication. Just protect your vehicles and your devices. Make sure you have protective cases on your phone, your tablets, whatever. Make sure that, oh my God, what kind of insect is that? Oh my God, I don't know what that is, but it better not fly in my face. That's all I know. So we can really be having some thoughts that we need to go back over again, especially when it comes to relationships, because Mercury is retrograde in our 7th house. So deep, intimate bonding can be gone back over while Pluto is in our 3rd and Mercury is in our 7th, retrograde. If anything painful comes up, just remember, find someone that you trust to really discuss things with. You know, Pluto is a very psychological, deep psychological planet, and he likes to discuss things on a deep level. So superficial talk is not for you while Pluto is in your 3rd house. Going retrograde, it's really making things more potent, and you might be going inside your mind a lot more and be more inside your head. So just be aware of that. And if there's any crazy thoughts, I mean, just talk them out with somebody, Scorpio. Don't keep them dwelling and festering in there. And then you may take it out on a partner with all the 7th house energy. Just really try to avoid that and use it in the most positive way possible. So Mercury is going to go into shadow period on the 14th of April. And this is in our 7th house in Taurus, okay? Preparing to go retrograde. Mercury will fully be retrograde, going backwards in our 7th house on the 28th of April. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Let me tell you, Mercury retrograde in the 7th house can bring back some old relationships. Bring back people that we had relationships with in the past. And this could be good or bad, okay? They could be contacting us on social media talking about, Scorpio, I was thinking about you the other day and I thought I'd hit you up and see if you remember this, remember that we had going on. Do you want to get this going again, Scorpio? Have you thought about me? And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I cut you off years ago. When I cut people off, they are dead to me, honey. Okay, don't even try to come back to me with this stuff because I'm not playing that. So just be aware that Mercury retrograde in the 7th can bring back old relationship partners. But on a nice level, you know, a more favorable tip, it can bring back some old friends. Just some old contacts in general, social contacts, contacting you, just saying, hi, how have you been? I haven't talked to you in a long time, Scorpio. You may have been hiding off of social media because Pluto's in your 3rd house. How have you been? You know, what's going on in your life? So that may be a good thing. Also, if you're already coupled up, it's a great time to go back over your relationship with your current partner and see what's working, what isn't, what can you guys fix, what can you guys address, and also maybe telling your love story to one another over and over again and really feeling good about that. So Mercury retrograde doesn't have to be all that scary, Scorpio. All right, so let's get into these moons. What's going on with the moons? Every month there's a new moon and a full moon. So the new moon that brings new beginnings is going to be at 17 degrees Aries in our 6th house, and this happens on April 7th. This is in conjunction with Uranus, so some new beginning with work. If you're looking for a job, this is a great time to suddenly snag that job that you've been wanting, okay? To suddenly get that call back and have a new beginning that begins in a new workplace. If you're already employed, like I said, unfortunately, it can mean a job ending. I'm crossing my fingers for that because I love my money and I don't want my job to end suddenly. But it could be a sudden change in the job environment that you already have. So remember that with the new moon. On April 22nd, there's a full moon in our sign in Scorpio, 2 degrees Scorpio in our 1st house. Full moons bring things to a final decision. So maybe we make a final decision as far as anything in our life, anything on our life path. It could be career, it could be our physical appearance. I finally want to make this change to my appearance, so I'm just going to do it now. You know, I finally want to stop doing this particular habit that's bad for my body because there is 6th house energy of health going on at the same time. So Scorpio, definitely watch your health, okay? To wrap up the month, really need to watch our health, okay? Because of the full moon in our 1st house of the self and the body. And all the Aries energy that's happening with our 6th house, which is health. So watch your health. Make some great decisions on how you can better your health, okay? Try to cut those bad habits. The full moon can help you to do that as well. So wrapping up the month in general, I mean, our 6th house is definitely highlighted, work and health. Pay attention to your health, okay? Really, for real. And also to your work environment. Make sure that you're doing all of your work duties correctly because Saturn is going retrograde, all right? He's going to check us on how we've been earning our income. Have we been doing the right things? He's going to test us. Have we been performing our work duties and staying on task at work? The 6th house energy will help us to do that. Our 7th house is also highlighted of relationships, beginning a new one, ending one, and maybe enhancing one, you know, and also business partnerships can count as the 7th house as well. Our 2nd house is highlighted, remember, because Mars and Saturn they're retrograde. They're making us think about how we earn our money and making us work very hard to earn it as well. And in the beginning of the month, for the first 5 days, we're still continuing that lovey-dovey romantic Piscean energy in our 5th house, but it's also a great opportunity to continue to be creative in our own creative projects or our own business. Well, Scorpio, that wraps up the month of April. I hope this was insightful and helpful for you. I really hope this month goes good for us. Whew, I'm crossing my fingers. I'm going to try to follow my own advice on these horoscopes. And remember, if you want a more personalized horoscope where I can take a look at your unique situation, your unique chart, other than just your sun, moon, or rising in Scorpio, shoot me an email and I can do that for you, or go on livevisions.com and find me there. All right? Well, thank you so much, Scorpio. Have a great month of April. I love you guys. Mwah. Peace.